We all have a story, but I'm able to share mine today, thanks to Ms. Raven and the rest of the student council. I'm not exactly sure where to start, but I'll just start with that the reason I wear pink, and a lot of you see me wear pink or purple. Those are two of my favorite colors. But I don't wear them just because they mean something to me. In 2011, my sister passed away from cancer. She passed away from esophageal cancer. So it's right here in this part of your body. Usually it attacks people who smoke, but she wasn't a smoker, and she was actually the biggest health nut out there. If it was healthy, she would use it. If it wasn't healthy, she stayed away from it. There was a lot of wouldn't find a lot of Coke, she wouldn't find a lot of junk food at her house just because she was always being so healthy. She was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 25. And we were like, what is this? What's going on? What's the deal? So she began taking chemotherapy and radiation. And for those of you who know what it does to your body, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, it's the reason why your hair falls out, or your skin is so dry, or the reason why your nails are so brittle. It's actual poison going into your body to kill all the bad blood cells, because those bad blood cells are attacking the good blood cells. But to make that medicine, that poison that goes into the person's body to kill those bad blood cells requires money to make that medicine. And one of the organizations that I participate with is the Susan G. Coleman, which is this one right here. It's a 3-day. And during the 3-day walk, you go and you meet people and you provide support for each other. In order to participate in the 3-day walk, you have to raise $2,000, but that money that each person raises is used to create medicine or to find a cure for breast cancer. So that's why one of the great bracelets that I wear, it says, find the cure. This one also is 3 days for a cure. I was working at the Biscuit at the time, and when I got a phone call from my wife, she said, hey, you need to get your stuff together, because we got to go to San Antonio, your sister's not doing too well. And I remember Miss Hurley came in and helped me gather my stuff and watch my class so that way I could go see what was going on with my sister. And I don't know if I thanked you, Miss Hurley, for providing that support, but I get to say it now, thank you so much, because it really meant a lot. It meant a lot to know that I had people around me who provided the support. You have to understand that the reason who I am now is because of two people, my mom and my sister. My sister was so important in my development as a human being, as who I am now. She's the main reason why I teach. She always pushed us. My mom and my sister always pushed us. My mom came to this country when she was 15, 16 years old. And she didn't know anybody. Well, she had her sisters, but they were all in the same boat, the same situation. She didn't know English. She didn't know the customs, the traditions that in America that you kind of know already. So for us to get an education was very important. So she always pushed us. My sister was the first one to graduate from the University of Houston from our family. So she went to college and she inspired me. I thought to myself, if she can do it, then I can do it too. So I started thinking about going to college and got interested, and I went. I remember when we had freshman orientation, I lived with her in Houston, and I went to school in Austin. So it's a little bit of a drive, about 4.5 hours. So you need to be in Austin, by 9 o'clock, we need to leave at 3 o'clock. So just make sure that we're there on time. So I'm like, okay, great. I get my stuff ready, and she says, okay, listen. And she's talking to me on the way to Austin. And she says, all right, George, you need to make sure that you buy your bus ticket, get to the bus station. I'll pick you up at the bus station in Houston. So please don't miss the bus. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep. So we finally get there, and we pull up to UT, right, to where I'm supposed to go to freshman orientation. Freshman orientation is like the camp, the strand camp that we had earlier at the beginning of the school year, where you meet all your teachers and you meet your strand directors and stuff. That's what freshman orientation is, right? So we get there, and you see all these kids with their parents walking in, everybody's so happy, and I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, that's awesome. So we get there, and she's like, all right, get out. And I'm like, she's gonna park. She's like, George, I gotta go to work. Come on, get out, get out, get out. And I'm like, aren't you gonna walk me in? Are you gonna just throw me out there? She says, I'm waiting. So she pushed me. Literally, she's like, get out, go register. I'll see you in 3 days at the bus station. I said, okay. So I went out there, and I thank her for that, because if she wouldn't have done that, then I don't know if I'd be here right now. I remember when I first started teaching, I was 22 or 23 years old. I was teaching at South Cliff High School, and I didn't want to teach. I go up to the assistant principal and I said, Mr. Tubbs, I don't feel good. I'm ready to go. And he's like, what's the matter? It's 8:30. You just got here. And I said, I don't feel well. I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. And he says, all right, go. So I go in my apartment, in my bed, I'm in the fetal position. And who do I call? My mom. I call my mom, right? And what do moms say? What do moms do to make things better? Just come home, son. Don't worry about it. Just come home. Listen, don't be in Dallas. Just come back to Brownsville. It's much warmer over here. You have the beach. And I'm like, I do have the beach, right? So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pack up. I'll forget the apartment lease. I'll go home. And I'm like, yeah, I feel better. I'm gonna go home. I'm not gonna teach. I'm gonna walk away. I hang up the phone and I'm feeling better, right? I'm feeling better about myself. I heard what I wanted to hear. So then I call my sister, and she says, what did you do now? And I'm like, I haven't done anything, but I'm going back home. And she's like, why? She's like, I don't think I need to teach. I don't know if I'm going to teach. She's like, well, you need to decide if you're going to teach or not, because if you're not helping those kids, then you need to get out. Those kids need help, they need boundaries, and if you're not going to be doing it, get out. And I said to her, what do you have to be so rude? And then she's like, I'm not being rude, I'm being realistic. You need to decide if this is the path you're going to walk, because if it's not, then get out. And I said, okay. That was 15 years ago. I remember having that conversation with her 15 years ago, and I'll never forget it, because I never looked back, and I decided that I was going to continue to teach. So she's one of the main reasons why I teach now. Although I don't have my 2 moms, I know I have my mom, and the other one's my guardian angel, who's always there. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much.